What is going on, brothers and sisters? How are you doing out there? I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you guys are having a great week. If you're listening to this on a Friday, then it is a preparation day for tomorrow's Shabbat. And tomorrow is an incredible day of rest that our Creator has given to all of us. It is a gift to mankind, and it is something that is simply amazing. Now, what we're doing in this reading is we are going over the words of our Messiah. We are going over his ways, his understandings, his walk inside of the Torah, and his wisdom that he is willing to give us with this walk. Now, what we're going to be reading out of is we're going to be reading out of Yah Scriptures. It's the very last book in the Apocrypha of Yah Scriptures. And it is is an incredible mission, an incredible journey that Yah Scriptures has been in and around on. And Yah Scriptures, all of this, what we're reading here, is absolutely 100% free of charge. You can go to yahscriptures.com, and we have two PDFs. We have the regular 66 book PDF, and then we have the Apocrypha PDF. Both of them are completely free of charge. Both of them are the exact same that is in this book that you can see right here, right before your eyes. This book is available as well at yahscriptures.com. For every scriptures that we are able to sell, we are able to get at least one full scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains. And this is what has made this an incredible project. Now, this book is comprised of 103 books. It is a 14.5 font, which means it's large print. You're going to be able to see this for a long time, especially if you're getting up in the ages where a lot of us are, and the vision is one of the very first things to go for a lot of us. And so this is why this book was produced. It was produced so that we could all see it, and that we could all read this, and we could all discuss the ways of our Creator. And the ways of our Creator are simply amazing, because our Creator gave a son, gave us a king, gave us a Melchizedek priest, as well as a perfect sacrifice, that we have a leader for the kingdom to come. And so for those of us who are seeking the kingdom to come, for those who are looking forward to a new way that we are able to walk with our Creator and with his son, we don't find it anywhere else except in scriptures. And this is why, as we are reading through the book of the Nazarene, the book of Khalidi, it is it's just one of those eye-opening things that truly shows us the heart, mind, and soul of the Messiah and his Father. And so without further ado, we are now into chapter 7, and this is, again, available at yahscriptures.com to read along, absolutely free of charge, or if you guys would like the large book, it is there. Okay, Yahushua, who is, for those who do not know, is the name of the Son of the Most High. There will be a lot of people that say Yeshua, Yahusha. It's far closer than the pagan name that they gave us, which is Jesus. And technically, when you say Jesus, it's the son of Zeus. And our son, our Messiah, is not the son of Zeus. The son is the son of Yahuwah, which the name Yahushua has the name Yahuwah in it. And so the son's name is in the father's name, and the father's name is in the son's. It's absolutely spectacular when you look at it in his original Hebrew form. Now, Yahushua then went by boat, and where he landed, there was a man who lived in a deserted tomb, because he was tormented by an intrusion from the reign of the dark Ruach. Attempts had been made to confine him in fetters, but because of the strength naturally given, he easily escaped. Day and night he would shriek among the tombs and up on the hillside, terrifying people and often injuring himself by falling. Guys, we've heard this story before. We hear of the guy in the tombs, the guy who's running around that has like just insane kind of strength. And we are told again of the same story. Now, Yahushua knew the nature of the tormenting thing and called upon the power within him. So it entered the body of the possessed man, wrestled with the evil thing inside of him. Then the man ran screaming among a herd of swine and two fell into a ravine. But shortly the man became calm, but the evil intruder had departed from him. So this is an interesting talk of exactly how Messiah Yahushua dealt with this demon that was inside of this guy. This demon that was so strong, it sounded like the power of Messiah went into this guy and beat the heck out of the demon, and it made a huge scene in doing this. And so this is demon casting by our Messiah 101. Now, continuing on, the swineherds ran away to carry the tale of these events to people round about who came to see for themselves what had happened. When they saw the madman was rational, they became afraid and asked Yahushua to go away. Now, another thing that a lot of us don't understand is one of the temples of one of these false deities that is there, who are always sacrificing to pigs. This very well could have been the swineherd of those pigs, which is very, very curious to the entire story, and why, we read in other scriptures that these demons, they wanted to go into something else, right? They did not want to just be free. They wanted to go into a herd of swine. And so continuing on, when Yahushua was preparing to depart, the man who had been cured begged to go along with him. But Yahushua said, "No, you remain here and bear witness for me." The man spread the tale of what had been done for him through all the free cities, for he received much silver in the marketplaces. So this is an interesting understanding of this, that the last part of this I find very intriguing, for he received much silver in the marketplaces. I believe that's because he's telling his tale and he's talking to the people, and so the people are sitting there supporting him through this, is what I gather from this. Coming close to another town on the seashore where a crowd was gathered to hear him, Yahushua saw Matthew seated where dues were collected, and he said unto him, "Are you ready to follow me?" For he had spoken with Matthew before. Matthew replied, "I am ready, but first come and eat with me." When Yahushua arrived at Matthew's house, he found other tax gatherers had assembled there, with many others who did not observe the Torah of Moshe, which are in the Kodesh books of the Yahudim. While eating, Yahushua said, "No man of himself can know right from wrong, for what is right in one man's eyes may be wrong in another's. Therefore strife arises among them. Only when men accept a single standard of judgment and abide by it can there be shalom. When men live together without the light of the Torah, they are like a house built with unmortared bricks, or like men trying to tow a boat, but are pulling in different directions." So this is some of the same stuff that we have heard from Messiah in a different way, right? And this is why the world to come, the kingdom to come, is going to be based upon people who are willing to serve under our Creator, using the Torah, using the laws of our Creator as the guidelines of how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to operate, how we're supposed to raise our families. And when the kingdom comes, the kingdom to come in all this, it's not going to be a Torah-less society. We're not going to all of a sudden say, okay, well, the laws that were good that were the laws that were actually built before creation, that are good for all times, all races, all creeds, all of a sudden they're not going to be good. They will be good, and that is how we are going to live in the kingdom to come. We're going to live under Torah. We're going to live under the appointed times and the appointed feasts, and all of Yah's special times is when he's going to probably hang out with his people. So continuing on, Messiah is talking about, if you don't have a set of guidelines that everyone can agree on, then everybody's going to do what they like in their own eyes, which is, again, another great reason for everybody, especially in your family, especially in all of our families, to align ourselves with Torah, so that we know that there is a set of guidelines that people of Yah are supposed to be under, because that's how we know who to trust and who not to trust, right? I tell people all the time that Christianity is one of these religions that is an extremely dangerous religion, because it is a lawless religion. And people will throw me under the bus, they will light me on fire and tar and feather me for simply saying this, but the laws of the Christian religion are no more. They don't apply to them. They have no value on the old scriptures, on the Old Testament, the Torah, the way forward. That's what the Christians by default say, it's not theirs, they don't care, they don't need to be part of it. And that's a very dangerous way to live, because you will be judged, we will be judged, based upon what the Torah is and says. And so if we don't even know it, ignorance will not be bliss when we're standing in the fire. And so we need to be united inside of a Torah-filled society. 8, there are 2 laws, the law of men and the Torah of the Father who is in the Shemaim. When I speak of the Torah, I do not mean the law of men. I am the light illuminating Yahuwah's Torah so men see it more clearly. And though I fulfill the Torah, I do not change it. Never say this is right or this is wrong, but only this is right or wrong according to the Torah and is the light of Yahushua. This is an amazing verse, right? This is one of these things that, guys, the Christian religion will fall on their swords and tell us the laws of our Creator are no more. They will even say Jesus fulfilled the Torah. And then they will continue on and say, because he fulfilled the Torah, we don't need to walk the Torah. We can now live as we want to live because we're free from the what they believe are the curses of the Torah. But Messiah very clearly says there's two different laws, the law of men and the law of the Torah. And he is the light illuminating the Torah. He is the light that is walking amongst us, that shows us the way forward and shows us how we can walk the Torah with clear understanding, right? He did not change it, right? Very much right here. This is a book you would never, ever have a Christian read because they would get a little bit into it. And if they do read it, which they don't even read, because they don't read scriptures, so probably Christians will never, ever read this book. But Messiah says he doesn't change Torah. So we have to understand that's what it is. And then if we want to judge, when we are judging or how we talk, how we speak, we don't know what is right. We don't know what is wrong, but we know this is right or this is wrong according to Torah. And that is why Deuteronomy 6:4 tells us very clearly we need to write the laws, statutes, and commandments on our heart, on our mind, on our soul, on the frontlets of our eyes. They need to be on the gates of our door, of our houses. The doorpost needs to be as frontlets between our eyes. We should not examine anything in the world. We should not walk undefended without the power of the Torah as frontlets between our eyes. In fact, Deuteronomy 6:4 goes on to say that not only are they frontlets between our eyes, but when we go to bed, we need to speak of these. It needs to be part of our life. When we get up, it needs to be part of our life. It's what we need to indoctrinate our children with, is the ways of our Creator. Because if we only can judge based upon right or wrong based on the Torah and we don't know it, we then don't know right from wrong. And that's on us. A lazy people aren't a kingdom people. It's just not going to happen. The lazy are tossed away. The very first commandment that we ever have is to be fruitful. Messiah continues on and says, I bring new oil for the lamp of the Torah. Okay, did this just say he brought a new Torah? No. He illuminated it, guys. When you bring new oil for the lamp, you're not going to run out. You're going to get the light onto it. You're going to be able to shine brighter, especially with the oil from the lamp, right? It's going to illuminate it, right? I bring new oil for the lamp of the Torah, for that within it is now impure, and the light produces too much obscuring smoke, right? He's saying that the people didn't quite get it. But this new oil that comes in there, it's not going to have that same kind of smoke, because we're going to see that not only did our Creator give us a Torah, but he also gave us an example of an individual, his son, that is able to walk this Torah perfectly. That means we have an example of somebody who did it, somebody in the human flesh, the human form, the same as us, and he was able to make this happen. So we at least know that it can happen. So why aren't we attempting to do the very best that we can and be these obedient, loyal Torah keepers to our Creator? It's not a hard walk. Continuing on, he says, for I am the son of Adam. I am the ben of Adam, and bear the sufferings of men, coming to fulfill their hopes, even as it has been foretold. Is it not said among the Yeseneth that the ben of Adam is the perfected man who will set the standard for those who wish to be the true sons of Elohim? And that is what Messiah did. Messiah came and did this absolutely perfectly. He showed us patience. He showed us kindness. He showed us getting beat and turning the other cheek. He showed us what the Torah is all about, and he died for it. He literally died for the Torah because people crossed the Torah to get him killed. So it was because of all these broken Torah commands that they actually sacrificed up the perfect sacrifice, the way forward. And this is good stuff, folks. This is really good stuff. 10. Later, when Yahushua went outside, he found some Parishim, Pharisees, standing apart, as was their custom, and put the question to the Yahushua, how can you claim to be a teacher interpreting the Torah of Elohim when you associate with tax gatherers and law breakers. Wow. Okay, we've heard this before in other scriptures, right? We know of this. This is what we have to understand, guys. The Pharisees, most of them were very good people, but the problem with hooking your star to somebody's wagon and saying that you are a Pharisee or a Sadducee or whatever it is you're saying is that their doctrine becomes your doctrine. Now, the doctrine of the Pharisees wasn't just Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. It was that plus all of their so-called oral Torah that comes hundreds of other verses and stuff out of their oral writings. Out of writings that man has put together is what the entire religion of Judaism is based upon. In this, there is laws that you don't associate with people called goyim, people who are not a Judaizer person, who is not in Judaism. Anybody outside of that is called a goyim. So part of their stuff is they are asking Messiah, they're like, why are, and according to, if you were in Judaism, Messiah would have been broken their so-called oral Torah, but it's a man-made law. So their question is, how can you claim to be a teacher interpreting the Torah of Elohim when you associate with tax gatherers and lawbreakers, right? That's the crime that they see in their eyes, is that he's gathering with tax collectors and lawbreakers. And that's only simply because of their oral Torah. Yahushua answered, "It is not the healthy who need the attentions of a physician, but those who are ill. It is the tree growing out of the sand which requires watering, not the one growing by the river. I come to minister to the spiritually sick, not to the righteous who have their consolation." Okay, guys, I think we're going to leave it at this. I don't want to make these too long, but this last verse absolutely requires some discussion because, guys, we all come out of Babylon. We all come from a place of spiritual sickness. We all come from a place where we didn't understand anything. Most of us have come out of religion, and we don't even know what this religion that we have it should be called, because when you're a Torah keeper, when you're a Bible keeper, I don't think there's a religion. I don't think you can put a name on this, right? Do you want to be a Hebrew? You want to be an Ephraim? Where does it become? You don't want to be a Jew, because you're only representing one of the 12 tribes of Yisrael. So you wouldn't want to just hook your star to that. You would want to be something that our forefathers, Abram was called. Abraham came out of the land of the corrupted. He came out of the same lands that we are in right now. He was called out of there, and when he crossed over, he became a Hebrew person, and it was Abraham the Hebrew. It wasn't Abraham the Jew. And so, guys, we have a way forward right now, and it doesn't have a label. It doesn't have a name. We'll call ourselves Hebrews, right? So if we want to join our star and become righteous in the eyes of our Creator, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and walk this covenant walk, remember Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, they didn't have Messiah Yahushua. What they had is they had their works, they had their deeds, they had their obedience. They were justified by their actions, and they didn't have a Messiah. And that would confuse those in religion, because many in religion, including the Mormons, think that you had to have a Messiah or nobody prior to was ever saved. Nobody reads scriptures. Nobody understands that the scriptures clearly says who was saved, and we didn't have a Messiah back then, so we are only saved by faith of our works. Not saved by faith only, because if we didn't have any works, where's our faith? Same thing James says. Guys, so I hope some of these readings will help you guys. I hope some of these will inspire you. I hope that some of you guys will reach out to those who are hurt and oppressed and broken and encourage them. And toss the net out there, guys. Toss the net out for anybody that could possibly be anybody in the kingdom to come. And unless we're doing our job, then we're not bringing in the harvest. We're not planting the seeds. And we need, right now in this time, we're in a generational gap of righteousness. Nobody cares about our Creator. There's very, very, very few people that are seeking Him. And those who are, we need to encourage them, and we need to lift them up, and we need to love them. And we need to seek those who don't even know that there's a kingdom path to go. So guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful Shabbat. I hope you have a wonderful preparation day. Prep what you're going to prep today. Seethe what you're going to seethe today. Cook what you're going to cook. And at sunset, Shabbat begins. Much love to all of you. Have a great day. I'm out.